Hey, welcome to CU Sports Mag. That's a little spring football action. Tyler Haddon's making a pass.
And we got the club baseball teams, Chad Peterson going yard against Northern Colorado.
We caught up with newly appointed head coach Linda Laffey.
Don't go away, it's Sports Mag right now.
Hey everyone, welcome to CU Sports Mag. I'm Russ Cunningham, that's Luke Rosenmeyer.
And it's a very sad day. As the semester winds down, this is the last time that you will see Russell Cunningham on the Sports Mag desk.
Yeah, I'm kind of choked up. Anyway, moving on. We had a little bit of basketball interest happening this week. What happened?
Well, Russell, for the past 3 years, Jeff Bizdelic has had one goal for CU men's basketball, a berth in the NCAA tournament. After taking #1 ranked Kansas to overtime last season, it seemed like this once distant dream was becoming a reality. However, after a disappointing finish to the season gave Bizdelic his third straight year under 500, he decided it was time to move on to greener pastures. On April 14th, Bizdelic was introduced as the head coach at Wake Forest, leaving question marks as to who his successor will be. The Buffs will be depending on the play of Corey Higgins and Alec Burks next year to take them to March Madness without Bizdelic's leadership.
The departure of Coach Bizdelic to Wake Forest has left CU basketball players wondering who might be the head coach, and emotions have been mixed towards the situation. Corey Higgins said that he was angry that Bizdelic left the program, while speculations that the Big 12 freshman player of the year Alec Burks may transfer for the program as well. Within the locker room, the consensus is that the players would like assistant head coach Steve McLean to become the next head basketball coach. Athletic director Mike Bone said McLean will be interviewed for the position, and the search committee will be looking for the right coach in the long term.
We have been busy over the last 3 days, and our search committee's in place. They're ready to go. They're working hard and touching base with each other, getting meetings scheduled, and beginning all the paperwork and the process across campus. And I couldn't be more proud of everybody hustling to try and help pull this together so that we can attract a great coach. We obviously recognize the importance of moving quickly, but on the other hand, we want to ensure we get the right coach, and that our young men that are in the program that have invested so much into it already know that we're doing everything we can to find a leader for them to work with. People care about Colorado basketball, and when you have that type of leadership around the state and around the nation helping and providing feedback, that's bodes well for us, and that's why we believe this process can really help us build some further equity in the program, and that's why we really want to work to take that momentum and that excitement associated with the process into pulling people together and created an indivisible fan base, an indivisible support base behind the scenes that can make the program be successful, and we're hopeful to take advantage of that type of environment.
Colorado's most famous basketball alum is offering his 2 cents on the men's coaching search. Chauncey Billups told reporters on Thursday that he thought the Buffs' assistant head coach Steve McLean was the best choice at the time. The former Buff and current Denver Nugget thinks hiring a coach from within will keep the program on the right path that Jeff Bizdelic led. Other candidates for the job include Nuggets assistant coach Jamal Mosley and former Buff and Northern Colorado coach Tad Boyle.
All right, we're going to hit you with the trivia question early this week on Sports Mag. This week's question is, when was the last time the women's basketball team had a sellout at Coors Event Center? Stick around, we'll have that answer coming up later in the show for you.
You know, I feel like I've been to a lot of basketball games in my career at CU and haven't seen too many sellouts, so it had to be a while ago.
I don't think I've seen any sellouts.
Well, we have Kansas for the men, but that's not
okay.
Anyway, we have a little bit of spring basketball coming, or spring football.
That's right. Stick around after the break. We're going to hit you with highlights from the spring game.
Let's sit down for a second, okay, sweetie?
Hey, Kayla, there's Mary from your class.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Kayla. Come and play.
Oh, sweetie, Why don't you go play with those kids over there?
Why?
Imagine the power of one voice. Find yours at freedomcenter.org.
Welcome back to CU Sports Mag. Lucas, one coaching search has begun and another one has closed down.
That's right. Linda Lappy has been announced as the new head coach of the women's basketball team. Sportsmag's Matt Seawick caught up with her this week to see what she expects from her job.
Thanks, guys. I'm Matthew Seawick, and I'm here with Linda Lappy, the newly women's basketball coach. And first off, I want to say thanks for meeting with us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Yeah. So coming from Metropolitan, the Roadrunners, you had a record of 50-36, so definitely a great record there. Getting this position here at CU, is this a dream come true for you?
It is. I've always wanted to be here. Since I left, I knew this is where I wanted to be someday, and I am very, very happy to be back. Wearing the black and gold again, wearing the buffalo, back in this gym. It's been an amazing experience so far, and I'm just looking to get started, and already getting started, yesterday.
So you are now the youngest women's basketball coach in a BCS competing school. Do you feel, as a less experienced coach, there's some pressure there? There will be some challenges?
There will be challenges. The Big 12 is a tough conference, the toughest players, the toughest coaches. It is second to none, the best. It is the best conference in the nation. And our players have been great so far, and they'll continue to be great. And we're just going to go in and we're going to try to get better every single day, and that's the goal, is to get better every day.
Now, as a CU forward, you averaged 7.8 points, 3.7 rebounds in your 115 games, also helping the Buffs to 3 consecutive NCAA appearances. What do you love really about playing for CU, or when you did?
I love the fans support. I loved being on this campus every day. I loved walking into this gym every day. I love the tradition, knowing that there were people before me that won championships. There were people after me that were going to win championships. I thought that was amazing, just the sense of pride, the sense of tradition that we have here.
All right, and what are your plans for the team after you have taken the reins from McConnell Miller?
I would expect that we're constantly trying to get better every single day. And we get the competitive mindset, and we don't settle for anything but our absolute best every single day. We're going to be fundamental. We're going to be disciplined. We're going to work hard. We're going to have a lot of integrity. We're going to have a lot of character. We're going to get good grades. I expect a lot. If you expect a lot, you usually get a lot, and that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're going to expect.
So now your former coach, Silberry, will oversee the program. Will that be nice to kind of have that familiar mentor close by your side?
It will be. I have a lot of respect for Coach Berry, and she's helped me a lot in everything that I've done. I've stayed in great contact with her since I've been out of school, and she's helped me a lot. She's been a true mentor and helped me along the way, and I look forward to utilizing her as much as I can.
And if you had to describe your coaching style in one sentence, what kind of would that be?
Up-tempo, disciplined, just we're going to do whatever it takes to be successful. We're going to play hard, we're going to get after it, and we're going to be extremely fundamental, and our players are going to know what they're doing on the court.
And I think that should be it. So
right.
Thanks for talking to you, and once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So I'm Matthew Seawick, sitting alongside Linda Lappy, the newly appointed women's basketball coach, and I'll send it back to the desk.
Over the next 6 weeks, CU football coaches will scour the country looking for talented young athletes who can bring promise back to the Colorado football team. Every CU coach, that is, besides Dan Hawkins. It's the 3rd annual spring evaluation period where every head coach in the country is not able to leave the campus to recruit prospects. Hawkins, who is known for his love of the recruiting process, wishes he could be out and about shaking hands with all the potential Buffs. Although Hawkins is not able to meet the recruits in person, he says he's interested in using the video chat application Skype to meet with the high school stars. The spring evaluation period is especially important for CU, who get many of their players from out of state.
Speaking of football, it's the end of the practice spring period, and we had a spring football game.
That's right. So, it was black versus gold. They actually drafted teams this year. That was a little bit different. So let's go ahead and take a look at some highlights.
Healthy Kids Day started out. That's Ryan Miller signing some autographs. All the players were signing autographs for the kids. That's in future Buffs, perhaps. And here comes Ralphie.
All right, and we start the spring game here. Hanson playing for the gold team, handing off to Corey Neighbors, who gets stripped by Michael Sapili. Holding on that ball, son.
Ball
it's
down.
black team ball. And now you got Cody Hawkins also handing off for the black team. He's giving it to Quentin Hildreth, who cuts it back and bounces it outside for a gain of 20. Nice play.
And a little more Quentin Hildreth action. Cody Hawkins hands off to the back. He skirts around into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffaloes. That's black team Buffaloes. Now Tyler Hanson dropping back. He's going to throw the ball down the middle to Devon Thornton. This redshirt freshman is here to play. He's going to be a stud next year. He's a tight end, and look out for him. He's going to put some big numbers up. Tyler Hanson doing what he does best, the option, running outside, gets a gain of 15, looking strong.
And Hanson looking to air it out this time a little bit more. He's going to hit Jason Espinoza on the crossing route, who makes him miss. Whoop! And then gets a first down. Nice play. And Dan Hawkins.
Oh my God, Dan Hawkins.
Oh, Dan Hawkins. All right, now we got Hanson rolling out, directing traffic. Gets tight end Luke Walters over the middle. He's going to need to step up this season.
Here we go, Tyler Hanson throwing down the middle again to Devon Thornton. That's a touchdown. Devon Thornton, 2 TDs on the day. Tyler Hanson, that's Cody Hawkins now throwing a pass down the middle. That's a beautiful catch. Buffs looking strong. Now here, Cody Hawkins dropping back. He's going to throw the ball to the big offensive line, Nate Solder. He's going to bumble into the end zone, touchdown. Nobody wants to tackle that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to tackle that guy. Here, late in the game, we got some backups getting some time. Nick Hirschman letting it fly for Andre Simmons down the sideline, who burned Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith, NFL prospect?
We'll see. Maybe he thought he had safety help. Who knows? Anyway, that's a touchdown for the gold team. This is a high-scoring affair, but here we're going to show you some defense. That's another backup, Seth Lobato, getting picked off by Jaleel Brown.
Now, to counter that, we got a little offense here for the team after the interception. That is Corey Neighbors into the end zone. That's the gold team. They're winning the game. Linesman says it's touchdown too. That's all. That's it. Buffs win. Gold team wins specifically. Tyler Hanson threw 17 for 22, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns. Devon Thornton had a huge game, 3 receptions, 45 yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's right. Okay, and the CU tennis team just dominated over the Kansas State Wildcats last weekend. The Buffs had a huge comeback victory for their fifth straight win over K-State, and their 3rd straight Big 12 win after being down 3-1. Colorado got the match back to within 1 after Erin Sanders won in number 6 singles and Monica Maluski won in number 1 singles. Senior Melissa Esposito tied the match at 3 straight after a straight set victory in number 2 singles, leaving the match up to junior Abby Probert. After winning the first set 6-4, the second set proved to be a little more difficult with it going into the tiebreak. Probert eventually won the tiebreaker to secure the 4-3 comeback victory over the Wildcats. Then, 2 days later, CU was looking to extend that winning streak against the Kansas Jayhawks.
That's right. After that comeback win against Kansas State, the University of Colorado women's tennis team took the court to battle Kansas. Monica Maluski won with her match 6-7, 7-5, pushing her combined win record at the University of Colorado to 163. Melissa Esposito was not far behind, winning 6-3, 6-1, which moves her to third in the combined wins record. This is the Buffs' 5th straight victory over the Jayhawks and their 3rd straight win this season. The Buffaloes' record now stands at 10-8 overall and 3-4 in the Big 12 Conference. CU heads to Texas Tech and Baylor over the weekend, looking to gain momentum heading into the Big 12 championships at the end of April.
Thanks to her outstanding performance against Kansas and her extending her combined wins record at CU, Monica Maluski is this week's Athlete of the Week.
I was just trying to stay consistent and stay in the points. She was kind of up and down. Like there was times where she was missing and there was other times where she was just hitting great shots. So I was just trying to stick with her and just be really consistent. Yeah, it's nice. I'm proud. I'm trying not to really think about it. I just want to keep playing and keep playing well. So I'm not really thinking about it too much. This is good for us. We needed the win, so it kind of puts us in a good position for next weekend. We know we can go out and keep winning. Monica Maluski, CU Sports Mag Athlete of the Week.
On Sports Mag, we've got David LaRose and Michelle Totive talking about the new coaching situation at CU.
That's right. We also have a little bit of club baseball. The Buffs took on the Bears from Northern Colorado. Stick around.
The odds of a child being in a fatal automobile accident are 1 in 23,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 166. The odds say it's time to listen. To learn the signs of autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
This is a man who almost learned to walk at a rehab center that almost got built by people who almost gave money. Almost gave. How good is almost giving? About as good as almost walking.
The Buffs put on an impressive display at the CU Track and Field Invite at Potts Field this past weekend. In the men's 1500, Colorado took the top 5 spots with Aldo Vega finishing 3rd after Richard Medina and Joe Bosshard in 1st. The women kept the ball rolling and took the top 4 spots in the 800 later that day. Kristen Johansson, in her first meet at Potts Field, pulled off a win in the 3,000 meter. Assistant coach Casey Malone competed in the discus toss, and won gold with his first throw of 206 feet 11 inches. Malone now holds the record for second best discus throw in the country and 9th in the world. The Buffs are currently competing in the prestigious Mount Sac Relays in Walnut, California, followed by the Michael Johnson Invite in Waco, Texas.
It has been a crazy spring for the Buffs basketball, men and women.
That's right.
We're going to toss it over to the double team desk and see what they say about this basketball season.
Take it away, guys.
Hello and welcome to Double Team. I'm David LaRose sitting alongside Michelle Totive. We're here to talk a little bit about all the coaching changes going on within the basketball program here at CU, both on the men's and women's side. First of all, Mike Bohn announced on Monday that Linda Lappy will be taking over for Kathy McConnell-Miller as the new head coach for the women's team. Tell us a little bit about Linda Lappy.
Yeah, Linda Lappy comes to us from Metro State College, and she's been coaching there the past couple of seasons, and she actually played here in Colorado through her basketball career in college from 1998 to 2003. She was named 2-time All Big 12 honorable mention player for her senior year, and she coached Metro to a 50-36 record for those last 3 seasons. So again, that's only a D2 school, but
right, and although that she did play here at CU for all 4 years of her college career, I'm not sure if she's quite ready to be taking over the reins of the head coaching job at a D1 school. She's familiar with the playing and how the style goes, but I'm not sure she's ready for this full load that she's coming into because, as you said before we started the program, that she only had 2 assistant coaches at Metro State, and now she's come to a Colorado program where she's going to have 3 times that amount, and I'm not sure if she's going to be able to balance it all and do a great job, but I guess we'll just have to see in her first year. But we're switching gears now to the men's side. Jeff Bzdelik jetted to North Carolina to take the head coaching job at Wake Forest. Tell us a little bit about why he made this move.
You know, he's mentioned how it's just a great opportunity for him right now. His daughter goes to Wake Forest, and he's got a beach house out there. So it seems like it's a great fit for him at this time. Unfortunately for us here in Colorado, it's not great timing in terms of a couple different issues. The first one that really comes to my mind is just the fact that he's really built up our program for these last 3 years, and he's leaving all of that behind. I know that they're hoping for an NCAA tournament berth next season, and he won't really be a part of that anymore. But also, just in terms of the recruiting period has just started.
Right, the recruiting signing period began on Wednesday, as Bzdelik was in the middle of talking to Wake Forest. McLean had been taking over his duties on the recruiting trail. Bzdelik was looking to bring in a few big men to help down low on defense and to help rebound. I'm not so sure what those recruits are going to do now. If they were interested before, they might not be interested now that Bzdelik is not going to be here and there might be a new coaching change. But when Bzdelik goes to Wake Forest, he has a perfect top 10 recruiting class intact. There's no danger of him losing that at Wake Forest. But Mike Bohn is now looking for new candidates for the head coaching job. He's mentioned 3 individuals. Steve McLean, who's the assistant coach here last year, Northern Colorado's coach Tad Boyle, and Oregon assistant head coach Mike Dunlap. So tell us a little bit about those guys.
Well, first of all, I think that the main candidate on everyone's mind, like you said, is previously assistant coach Steve McLean. He is already really familiar with Colorado's program, which I know Mike Bohn has mentioned he would like to see in the new coach. And he's also just familiar with the players, their personalities on and off the court. It just makes him seem like a great fit to step up to that head coach position. And then also, Boyle and Dunlap have both expressed interest, and I think that you said earlier McLean interviewed formally yesterday, and then Boyle and Dunlap look for interviews in the coming.
Right, yeah, McLean is a player's coach. The players have said that they want him to stay here and they want him to be the head coach. I know Alec Burks has said that he wants McLean here, or he's not really sure what he's going to do for the future. McLean seems like a perfect option because he's, like you said, familiar with the program. He's familiar with what we've done in the past 3 years as we're continuing to build this program up. And he will be, whoever's the head coach, will be able to come into a team that's pretty much NCAA tournament ready. We played well last year, but we have a little bit more experience on our side now. And whoever the coach is, I hope that they keep up this tradition that we're trying to build and take us to an NCAA tournament next year. But that is about all the time we have today on the Double Team set. As for Michelle Totive, I'm David LaRose, and we're going to send it back to the desk.
All right, with the year winding down, varsity athletics at CU are also winding down, so SportsMag's been focusing a little bit more on club sports.
That's right, Luke. We went down to the field to see CU play UNC in a little doubleheader action last weekend. Roll, Dave. Interesting. All right. So there
okay, well, there you saw Sham Syed getting a hit, he was getting hit. He gave up 8 runs in 2 innings. That's pretty high ERA, isn't it, Russ?
That's really high. Now here's UNC flashing the leather a little bit. That's a 4.63 double play. Nice scoop by the UNC first baseman.
And here's Colin Wilkins pitching. He is doing better than his counterpart Syed did, but clean a throw to first, please.
That's right, and Tony Peterson hitting a home run. Yeah, Chad Peterson, excuse me, hitting a home run. Now Peterson throwing out at the plate. Piha gets run down, but he holds onto the ball. That's an out. And now Piha with a little bit of a hit, and we're gonna start a little montage action. Actually,
that's not a hit. That's a nice play by the UNC shortstop there. Unfortunately, the Buffs don't like that call, but you can't argue so much in club baseball. Buffs lose the first game.
And they're going to try to regroup a little bit and see if they can't pull it together. And now CU flashing a little bit of leather.
Yeah, and Colin Wilkins took them out in the second game, and he went 4 scoreless. Much better outing than in the first.
I think that's a 0 ERA by my count.
I think you're right.
Now the Buffs making a little contact here. That's a hit down the middle.
And then another hit by Nolan Wilkins. That's the pitcher's twin brother. And then he's coming home to score. That's a few runs for the Buffs.
That's right. And now here we go. Buffalo's looking to shut them down. That's a strikeout. That's right. The Buffs run ruled them. That's a mercy rule. The Buffalo's looking strong.
That's right. 10-0. Only 1 error, 3 for UNC. Not looking too good.
So in game 1, the Buffs lost 6-10. And in game 2, the Buffs were able to pull it together and defeat UNC 10-0.
Let's get a little bit of reaction from players after the game.
Plays Kansas State this Saturday.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. We're not going to have any baseball postgame for you, but we are going to switch gears and talk about a little golf action. Surging to the finish in last weekend's Indiana Invitational, the women's golf team posted their best spring round of the season. Unfortunately for the Buffs, such an effort was only good enough for second place. The Buffs finished with a 3-round total of 892, breaking the 900 stroke mark for the first time this season, only to finish second to the hometown Hoosiers. The tournament was up for grabs with all but 4 holes remaining until the Hoosiers shot a combined 1 over par en route to the victory. CU standout Emily Talley finished 15th overall for the Buffs, one of 3 Buffalo individuals in the top 25. Up next for the Buffs, the Big 12 tournament in Norman, Oklahoma, beginning April 23rd.
And now CU SportsMag went off onto the street to see how well we knew our players at the University of Colorado. Our very own Victoria Blondie was able to catch up with the students.
Beyond.
Recent reports suggest that CU sports fans' interest in our school's teams is dwindling. I decided to go out and see for myself how much students on campus are really paying attention. That brings us to this week's edition of Man on the Street. Name that athlete.
No idea, so we'll go with Scotty McKnight.
I don't know.
Is this Cody Hawkins?
Who is that?
Michael Phelps.
It's Tyler Hansen.
There you go.
No idea at all.
This is DeMarcus Cousins.
No. This is embarrassing.
I don't know.
Once again, I don't know his name. Track.
Football.
Football.
I have no clue. Football? I don't know.
Okay.
Scotty McKnight.
There you go.
Nope, don't know him.
Don't know his name.
Shoot. Don't know.
Corey Higgins.
Corey Higgins, of course it is.
There's
the
one more.
#1 basketball star, and I can't even name it.
And I don't know.
I can't remember his name now. He's a
What's
basketball coach, right? No. Okay, then I have no idea.
He looks like maybe a dean, perhaps. Don't know him.
Got another guess?
Golf.
Is this our athletic director?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Although many students follow CU athletics, they can easily pass an athlete on campus and not even know it. Reporting from the UMC, Victoria Biani, CU Sportsman.
Thank you, Victoria, and we apologize for those technical difficulties we had earlier.
That's right, and coming up later in the show, we're going to get that trivia answer.
And we'll also have Andy McDonald giving us the weather breakdown for the weekend.
These kids almost had a new community center. A contractor almost volunteered to build it. A carpenter almost worked on the crew. And everyone else almost gave at the fundraiser. They almost gave. Almost. And these kids? Well, they almost stayed out of trouble.
We know you've been eagerly waiting to hear the trivia answer, and so just to refresh your memory, here's the question that we asked just earlier in the show. Just to refresh your memory, the question is, in what year did Colorado women's basketball team have their first sellout in the Coors Event Center? And the answer is, drumroll please, 1989. The longest effort in the losing effort, losing 78-84 to UNLV in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Have we had a sellout since then?
I don't think we have, but we have Andy McDonald over on the weather set. Let's take it away.
On the weather spot here with SportsMag, and let's just jump right into the weather for the weekend. As you can see here on our weather map, we got the blues in Colorado, which means it's cold, and they are coming from the north down to the south, of course. And in the southeast, we have the yellows and the light greens, which are warm. And this means that the warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico is going to move into Colorado, as you can see here. And the cold, dry air is moving down here, mixing, causing rain. And in Boulder over the weekend, we're going to have some showers, but it's not going to be too cold with low 50s and low 60s. Overnight, it's going to be a little more brisk in the 40s and 30s, but you might just want to grab a jacket if you're heading out over any of the weekends. And if you're heading to Atlanta to watch the Rockies play a little baseball, it's going to be a beautiful day, 84, 80, and 73. So baseball, sunshine, you can't go wrong with that. If you're staying here and you want to hit the slopes for the last time, because they're closing this last weekend, A-Basin, Vail, Breck, and Copper are all looking very nice with their bases in the 50s and 60s inch range. And with the snow-rain mix this next weekend, you might want to hit those up before it's too late. Next, we're going into the Avs, and the Avs are at San Jose after a great win over the weekend. It's 73 in Northern California when the puck drops on Friday at 8:30. But if you're sticking around here again, the Nuggets are playing the Utah Jazz, and tip-off is at 8:30. High is 56, but when tip-off happens, it's going to be more around 45, and it's going to be drizzling. So you might want to if you hit that up, I would grab a light jacket, but it's a beautiful weekend, even with the rain.
And Andy joins us on the desk. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful weekend for baseball.
Yeah, Rockies are looking good.
That's all the time we've got for SportsMag this week. Andy McDonald, Russell Cunningham, Luke Rosenmeyer. We'll see you next week.